wanted to, but you said we couldn't because we're waiting for Juniper to finish the landscape.
Probably coming below the budget. It's not going to be over the budget and we won't do it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I went through this not that long ago, so I can certainly update it.
Okay. Okay.
It'll probably be your December meeting, just because November's rolled up.
Yes.
A week or so,
Yeah.
time-wise.
Were the last bids we received not 5 days a week?
Some were, and the,
I think there was a presence required 5 days a week, but it wasn't the full crew, so.
yeah.
Something like that.
We did alter those specifications to
Right.
get you your coverage on 5 days a week.
And then we had Pelican, I think they were in here 3 days a week.
Two.
Two.
Thursday and
It's been so
Friday.
long, guys, I can't.
They were only in on,
3 days.
they were in on Thursday and Friday. And if it rained, they didn't come till the following Thursday and Friday. So that's why I'm saying that I really think we need a 5-day a week, and we'll put it in
We
the
can
bid.
certainly look at it, put it in there and see what comes back.
Okay, doesn't cost us anything to look. Okay.
So with that being said, well, we've installed flowers, mulch, pine straw, all been done. We're currently finishing up mulch right now. After we get done with mulch, we're gonna be weeding in between the, like, T-box houses you were talking about, we're gonna be hitting that up. It's going really good right now, to be honest with you, as far as like the last few weeks having people. It's been quite nice. Be able to put in that level of detail. But that's always a revolving door. Golf course wise, staffing, we are still too short from the 3 that was allocated last meeting. I've hired, it was funny, the next day there was a gentleman sitting there with experience in my office when I got there. Okay, so that was kind of interesting. And what I'm doing in the meantime is I let a couple weeks lapse. Obviously, couldn't just get all 3 right off grip, so since a couple weeks has lapsed, I take that money and now we're using day laborers and just gonna fill those roles with day laborers until we find the, we can bring in the permanent people. So we have, they started today, the two day laborers. So that's nice. We've been able to get a lot of stuff done on the golf course. It's coming along great. We're really happy with that. Oh, we hired an assistant mechanic and he's wonderful. This gentleman is, he's on. He's really good. He's not going to be here for long. I'm not going to lie. He's not.
Too good?
He's too good. He's not going to, but we're going to take him while we got him, because he's making a great improvement, and so we can maybe even learn a few things from him. But yeah, he's just really knocking it out of the park for us. So that's a plus. What else? The bridges, bridge progress. We only have the 3 bridges on 5 and the long bridge on 2 left to do. 13 was, man, 13 was ugly. It's bad. And luckily, like, that's something in the future to think about too. 13, remember, that's not a preserve. That area is not deemed a preserve. So if we wanted to put some pipe, that's a much smaller area, and a land bridge, something nice, we could eliminate that one. It's the only one on the back, we did 9. 9 wasn't in bad shape at all. 9 was in pretty good. We didn't have to replace anything on 9, board-wise. 8, we had a few, 3 or 4 boards we had to replace. But 13, yeah, 13 was bad. 5, we're on 5 now, and it's going to be pretty bad.
John, on 13, that you said it's not preserved under that bridge?
No, that's good.
On both sides?
Believe it or not.
On the green as well?
From what when I looked at the areas on the LDOs from previous, they weren't deemed preserved.
In that case, I think we need to clear that out.
Can't just go take out cypress trees and stuff like that.
Well, whatever, on cypress, let it breathe, kind of like what we did behind 12.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably go there, in anywhere, even if it is preserved, you can still take out non-natives and exotics, But as far as, I don't know if there is much in there. Most of it's almost like it should have been deemed a preserve.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Right, but I think technically, I don't know if it is. I have to look at it, to double check to be specific on that. I don't think it really is.
If we put a land bridge in there, we would still have to have
Pipe underneath.
piping. So
Yeah, just so the water,
there's definitely overflow.
there is,
It's
as that lake
definitely
rises, it goes in that little pond area, that flag pond, if you will, behind your home.
Yeah.
And even sometimes that'll capsize into the low area back there.
So we'd have to allow water flow.
Yes, that's why I said, yeah, the pipe.
Okay.
What I'm gonna do at the end of this project is, give an honest assessment and opinion of what I think about these bridges, because it's definitely changed. As far as the timeline of when we need to take care of this issue.
Okay.
You know? So we're gonna complete it all, taking notes as we're doing it, what I see, and then I'm just gonna, like I said, write up a report and give you guys an assessment when it's done.
Absolutely.
What we need to do, maybe we need to hurry up fixing these bridges, maybe we need to, if we hit a home run this year with the, maybe we need to do it this summer, maybe, I don't know,
And John, for safety, for the
Right, you
quality of
have
the
to-
course.
somebody walks down that
absolutely.
bridge at night fishing or something, steps through something, or
Well, that's what Adam and I would think.
even though they're not
they're not
technically supposed to
supposed
be
to.
out there, right, I mean, it's still a litigation in the process of having to go through it and all that.
Right.
So I'll do that, when we get done, and the timeline on that will be well before January 1, which we're probably gonna be done sometime in November next
Okay.
month. Two's a long bridge, but hopefully, it's shallow, we can stand and work from the sides, that's nice, and as long as it's not wet in there, and it's not.
We haven't had any rain.
Yeah, no, it was nice on 13th, because that could, we were able to work from the sides, it helped out a lot. Staffing, I said, yeah, we're doing really good with staffing, everybody's doing really good, and it's showing. The locks on the bathrooms. Okay, so we replaced the locks on the bathrooms. The women's bathroom on 15, we gotta put a new, automatic closer on. We gotta move it because the old one wore out the jam and everything. We gotta Dremel out the door a little bit because, and now I remember what happened in the past was those automatic doors, when they close, they automatically shut. Well, if they don't line up, they just keep hitting it, and they keep hitting it, and then it kills the battery really fast. So then they're back to just being normal locks. So a couple of them, we gotta see if we can carve out the room. If not, I think 2 of the bathrooms, we might have to put a new door jamb around. So, in asking you, do we have any leftover paint, just in case that happens for the bathroom? Did they need any paint? Okay.
On that, John, we're not storing gold in these bathrooms. So as long as it just, nobody's gonna try to break into the damn thing, just as long as there's enough space that the bolt can go through.
That's why we're dremeling first. We gotta get in there and kind of drill the car's room out. But even trying to move that plate, those door jambs, if you the screws, it's thin, and there's only so much room, so you'll blow it out, and you gotta get a new piece anyway.
Right. Yep.
So that's kind of where we are with that. We got them installed, we haven't put the batteries in them, because we're trying to figure all this out, and then so they'll be working automatically real soon, probably in a couple weeks. So that's where we are now. Thank you for reminding me. Except golf course is great. Granger, I played on them. I didn't play, but I played on them and tested them. I'm really happy with everything right now as far as that's concerned. That's it. Any questions?
I think we're good. You've done a great job, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yes, your name, please?
Yeah, I do have a request.
Yeah, please.
Daniel Myers from Wyndham Run. My request is, there's an oak tree between the green on number 6 and the T-box on number 7.
Okay.
Okay, now that tree got a little bit damaged during Irma. It lifted a little bit and all the roots got exposed. Well, the tree's getting a little bit out of hand now, so it's pretty big. And right now the branches are almost hanging over my roof of my house and my lanai, and my neighbor's lanai. The next storm we get coming from the south, like Irma came from the south, that tree's going to come over probably on our house, my lanai. I'd like to see if we can get that trimmed back, and it doesn't necessarily have to be removed, but the branches they're pretty high. And
John, you could have the tree trimmers look at that.
Yeah, I'm writing it down.
And I'm sure we're not going to have any storms as we haven't this year because I put in new hurricane impact windows.
oh, okay, great.
So, I saved everybody this year.
I'll hold you to that.
So,
All right, thank you.
Okay.
I think you said 7 T-box, but it's shortly after 6 T-box, right?
Right past the
I think I know what you're talking about, yeah. I did deal with this tree before. There's a couple of them actually. Like right by the junior tee, that little small tee, is there like a little small junior tee?
No.
Past the green on
By the
number 6.
green on 6.
We're going to 7, like the black team.
Oh, yeah, used to have a swing and, yep, I got you. I know exactly what you're talking about, okay.
John will take care of that.
I got you.
Thank you, Dan.
Wrong trick.
So. Okay,
Y'all know about it?
I will.
okay.
We
Jeff?
actually, kind of
Oh.
on that, I mean, I was gonna wait till our comments, but since we're kind of on this tree, I got a call from a resident from the villas. It sounds like we have some cypress sneeze. And just wanted to inform everybody of it, because it's not an email, it's a phone call. But you and I are going to take a little ride.
Which villas? Knighton or Portrush?
Knighton.
Knighton.
We don't check that, she texted me her address, but I thought she
Yeah, there's not many pine trees on Portrush. Portrush, all the,
Cypress.
or sorry, I mean, there's
I haven't
cypress trees
seen
all at
it
the
yet,
end of
but
Portrush.
the way she was explaining it to me, it sounded like cypress sneeze.
That's good, that's probably gonna be 90.
Knighton,
So it is on that.
okay.
So I have the address, so I was hoping maybe you and I could run over
Yeah.
after the meeting.
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, Jeffrey?
Well, I would reiterate John's saying about the golf course. I got to play Wednesday, and it was good, man. The golf course is really nice.
And excuse me one second, Jeff, I'm so glad you got out to play after all
Me
you've
too.
been through this year. Thank you.
I included a small little run through of what we're doing. I used Chat GTP for the first time. There's some real flowery language it uses, but it gets to the point. For you guys who are not familiar with Chat GTP, you put your bullet points in and it creates a nice little letter. Yeah, okay. It was okay. So electrical install between 5 and 6. They're going to dig the line to do that in the next couple of weeks. I talked to Lisa, Thursday before I left, and she said that they should be out here in any time. They're just waiting on the initial payment to get that, and then they'll start, and then we'll be able to have electric. And then we can put a water and ice machine there. We're working with TWC to get it something that we can lock in the evenings, so we won't have any kind of damage from, bad kids
Or whoever.
whoever.
Jeff, real quick with the electric, did you talk to them about putting it at the bag drop?
Yes.
Okay.
Mats and insulation on the range, we have contracted Turf Hound, who have done them in the past. Actually, this time Turf Hound's going to come out and do the installation for us.
What?
Yeah.
What? That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Why didn't you tell me that?
I will just tell you. They want to do it because they want to make sure it fits correctly and everything. So
Are we going to number them? Or have them?
We can tell them to do that.
Yeah, just tell them to number them, because that was the issue with the last storm. Thank you.
that should happen. I submitted the bill, the initial payment a couple of weeks prior, and they still hadn't received payment as of Thursday. We have been coming up a little late on our payables being paid out in a timely manner, Chuck. I appreciate it if you can help us get a little bit with that. Thank you.
Yeah, my internet got cut off last week.
Yeah.
And we sent it, and we kept sending it in, but, yeah, I know.
And then, of course, preparations for the upcoming season. We had a meeting last night with staff. We're getting ready. We go to crossovers November 1st. The month of October so far has been very good, right on budget, if not above. So it looks like we're continuing down the same path we have with the amount of play, and the people seem very happy with what's going on in the golf course. I have a couple things besides what was typed out. Some of the leagues have asked could the champions, could we acknowledge our club champions with a little something extra? Give them a little bit of a range membership for the year if they win. That's up to you guys. I can't just give out arbitrary cash like that, but they've come to me and asked, and I said I'd bring it up. Up to you guys.
So there would be 5, right? 2 for the Wednesday, 2 for the Saturday,
And
and
one for the
one
ladies,
for the ladies.
of course.
I'm not real keen on it. I mean, has there been any kind of prizes in the past?
No.
No.
I've won it 6 times and never got anything, except the parking spot.
That you don't even get anymore.
We're not that big.
No,
Yeah,
sorry.
to me, you get a discount to play golf.
Yeah. At
Are
this
these
po-
all residents?
No.
No, not necessarily.
Okay.
No.
At this point, I would say, they're getting their name. I'm not sure we should do anything at this point.
Okay.
That's just my opinion. I mean, I don't think a range pass for the year, I would not be in favor of that.
How much is it anyway?
800.
So $800.
Yeah, no. If we want to do something to, I don't know.
I mean, they're part of the league at our course. We don't, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm glad they patronize our course and they play here, but we don't really owe them anything. I mean, congratulations, you're the champion, but
You get a time, a special time, a
Right.
discount,
Discount golf.
and then
Yeah.
well, you're already getting some perks.
It come to my attention, and I said.
No, I get
Okay,
it.
no, that's great. I think they have sufficient perks at this point.
If they want to increase what they're paying, then maybe we can put it in the budget.
Yeah.
How about a little trophy?
They get their name on the board out front.
And they have, their,
Yeah, this
Pair
stuff.
of tube socks.
A dozen balls. A shirt.
caddy shack.
They should do that amongst their group.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They should all throw in whatever, $10 everyone gets a pot. But not have us subsidize it.
Right. Good point.
I agree. It just sounds like it's
We
their,
would love for them to.
their league.
We would love for them
All
to
these tournaments are
subsidize
self-contained.
for golf.
Yeah.
for golf
I know the
membership.
Women's League
Pay
does
for it out of their pot.
do something for the women, so.
Well, the women didn't really ask for it.
Oh,
But
yeah.
another group had asked for it, and I didn't think it was fair that if we offer it to one, we don't offer
No,
it.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
But no, I would,
I brought it up for consideration, and,
thank you.
You guys are so forward thinking.
Yes. Okay.
okay.
Way out of the game. Cool.
The parking of golf carts near the driving range, I just need some clarification on that. I know we don't want kids to drive carts back there that are living in the community and willy-nilly, but a lot of residents like to come up in the late afternoons with their golf cart and hit balls. Maybe they want to come up and have dinner at Duffy's. How do I handle that? Because, one of my employees read what was in the newsletter and took it to heart, and, he's become Sheriff Bob out there on the driving range telling everybody. He's upset some residents and people that we hold in high esteem that are, good quality folks about all they want to do is drive their cart there and hit golf balls. How should we handle it?
Okay,
Can we do a little reverse? How did this all come about?
because there was a group of kids who brought their golf cart up there, got several buckets of balls, and took off, and that's why we have the range balls all over. I think, I understand that the residents, and yes, I don't see any reason why they can't. I think we need to work with the cart guys to be a little, it's a tough call because, it was those kids that came, got the buckets of balls, put them on their golf cart and took off. So how do you manage that?
I think it's tough to create rules for the rule breakers.
Right.
It's,
It's hard to legislate morality.
Yeah,
Yeah,
when we come into season, and particularly on Saturdays and Sundays, when there's games on at Duffy's, you drive around the parking lot. I drove around there on, I believe it was Saturday night. There was 12 spots available. There's not that many parking spots. So if the de facto is going to be, we'd say, put the carts and park them in a parking spot, that's going to affect the revenue of Duffy's,
Well,
and ultimately going to affect us.
We can do designated parking, golf cart parking back there.
My view is we should have designated golf cart parking either on that loop coming in or in an area back by the by the driving range that doesn't interfere with the carts, because they like run them back and forth.
Right.
It doesn't make sense for me to put the golf carts in a full-fledged
No.
parking spot. And
No,
it
I
doesn't
agree.
make sense for me to make rules for rule breakers who are gonna break the rules, whether you got the rules there or not.
right.
But it's not about whether or not they're parking, it's the fact that they're causing a problem.
Right.
So we're not gonna mess up all the residents' experience just because of one little group. We need to find who that group is first and foremost. We know if they're of age to even be driving a golf cart? Yep. And everybody's gotta be vigilant here. I mean, there's numbers on every legal golf cart in the community. You guys gotta grab the number and send it to the HOA. And let's try to
To do it that way. And I would just say that the cart guys need to be kind of cognizant, is it adults hitting the golf balls and their carts there, or is it a group of 4 kids horsing around, just getting golf balls and putting them in the back of their cart and taking off? So,
Can we have them take pictures?
you can't take pictures of kids.
Can't?
Nope.
Well, to get the golf cart, we gotta capture the license plate, which is the number on the golf cart.
Let me take a picture of that car.
Yeah. We have cameras in there, so
We have cameras around the building, and they could probably capture
some of it.
some of it.
You can't see them.
I mean,
So Jeff, I have to agree. I mean, I don't want to, tick off the residents because there's some,
Well, we built all that experience for the residents. So
Right.
the patio, the range machine, that's all for the amenities to the residents in the community, as well as guests. But
Right.
the only people that are going to be driving golf carts up there are residents. So we're not going to.
Okay, we just have,
Let's be careful how we word that. I think that's supposed to be for customers of Duffy's, right? I think residents aren't really supposed to just come up and sit around the
no,
fire pit.
What I mean is
their
their ability to
coolers.
drive a golf cart up
Right,
there.
no,
they will be residents who are customers of Duffy's.
Correct. And customers of ours, they're getting rainfall.
okay.
Jeff, it's my thought that there should be a designated area which is convenient and out of the way. You're shipping those golf carts back and forth in the evening, like where people can park.
And that was never a well-designed spot originally, it's so narrow in between.
Yeah, it is, it is. I mean, I go up there and I've parked up there and, I try to park out of the way.
We created that new paver area behind the pro shop. They could park their carts there. And there's spaces by the driving range that they could park, as long as they stay out of the main thoroughfare. And the guys put the carts up. I mean, that's just, you have to say a common sense, but, with teenagers, common sense doesn't always exist. And they'll park in the middle of the driveway and go, well, what do you mean I can't park there? Try to pull over to the side and let the carts go past.
Well, I guess it's going to be a work in progress with the cart guys, just, let's
Yeah,
just
I'll
work
talk-
with them.
I'll talk to Dan and we'll go through it, and I'll talk to Lloyd as well.
Okay, just,
But there were, questions about,
Yeah.
and then,
okay. I'll try to reword it in my next letter.
I had an email come in about it too, probably, it was within the last couple of meetings, and I just told them to park up there by the badge boy area, in that
Yeah.
side. 'Cause a lot of people do park their truck.
And just walk over.
Well, then they play.
Yeah,
So it's just like, just park us there. But, I understand that's
Yeah,
not.
we've expanded those areas in the last 18 months. It's a lot bigger area now, it's a lot accessible, so, there's places to park.
okay. I'll try to word it in my news article.
Yes, ma'am, you had a question?
Yes.
When you say get the number off the cards, are you talking about the license or is there actual other little number?
There's a sticker on the front of
Every
it.
registered golf cart has a sticker on it.
On the very front?
Yes,
Okay.
it's supposed to be there. Okay.
I am fully staffed, and as I told my staff last night, they have done a tremendous job this past year. We had 53,000 rounds in 2022, 2023, and we did $3.8 million in revenue. So that's They're youngsters that work in that staff that have proven and shown me that the future of our world ain't that bad. They're really squared away young people, and I really appreciate them.
They did a nice job Saturday.
Good. Thank you. Adam came to me, and we will be talking about this in the December meeting. He did some diagnostics through Excel that are way advanced beyond anything I could even think about. They were fantastic, and we're going to kind of shine those up and bring them to your guys' attention in the December meeting. They break down rates, and they can show the resident exactly what their discount and how much of a discount they're getting and how much ability they have. And he did a fantastic job. I can't thank Adam enough for that. And we're gonna try and drill down and get everything we possibly can out of our golf course so that we can turn around in a couple of years and help this guy regrass it and make it beautiful and make it usable and beautiful for the next 25 years plus.
And buy your clock.
Yeah.
Just to give you an idea, because probably a lot of you don't follow the financials, historically, we're about $2.6, $2.8 million revenue. So, we probably had maybe a handful of years, I don't even know if I'd say a handful of years where we've been over 3.
I think it was just last year.
I think we did once, maybe like before the crash, like
Okay.
06, 07, I think we were pushing 3 million. So that's huge. I mean, and it shows, how much more people are playing. The only warning is golf can be cyclical.
Is that what takes care of the golf course then, a lot of
Yes,
it?
the golf course has to maintain on the revenues alone.
Okay.
Nothing else from the residents goes to the golf course. And I will say, Adam and I have talked several times, and I said to him, work with John, work with Jeff, work with their staffs to do this. And Adam, I have to thank you. You've done an outstanding job working with them and doing the financials. It is just really very good. Thank you. I truly appreciate it. Okay.
That's all I have.
That's all you have. Okay. All right. Chuck, your turn.
All right.
Road repaving.
So we did go out to bid, as was reported at the last meeting, and we did receive 3 bids through your engineer, and the engineer did analyze those bids, and they did an excellent job in their analysis. And ultimately, their recommendation is Southern Striping Solutions LLC in the amount of $1,543,305.44. Southern Striping Solutions is actually the name that Collier Concrete actually is working on, and Collier Paving nowadays. They're the ones who did your parking lot for the golf course. Ajax we have used in the past. They actually did the boulevard coming in from the gatehouse to the first intersection 17 years ago. So both good quality contractors, both take care of all of that work within their house, if you will, under one umbrella, which I think is really what the big difference is in the 2 prices. Vanessa would have to outsource the concrete work, so that likely is the difference. Remind you all that we did budget $2 million for this project, so we do have some additional dollars in that budget in the bond. So.
Okay. And the one thing that I did ask Chuck earlier, before we do this, cutting back on that part in the parking lot, is not in this bid because this was already out, and so it's not to confuse it, but Chuck is going to do a modification.
We'll do a change order on it.
A change order, and that will be taking place.
This is not inclusive of that parking lot.
That's correct.
So what,
The specs were already too far down the road.
and we're talking 200 down the way.
The parking lot was, we came in finally at 188,000.
Right.
We did budget 200. So the difference there, I think, is going to cover that additional cut to that
Cut.
teardrop coming out of the other parking lot.
Parking
But
That's all within the bond, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Chuck, do we have a time frame when you start?
I just asked them where we're at with the LDO submittal. I haven't got an answer back, but that would be probably the only thing that might cause a little bit of a delay. I wanted to make sure you awarded this before we went and secured the permit, which would make sense. And you're going to have you'd have to award to a contractor who can actually be a part of that permit process as a contractor. So we'll go ahead and get that done. I don't think that that's going to be really time consuming at the village level. It's a pretty straightforward package. So I would hope if I schedule it and starting somewhere in the middle part of November, realizing we've got 2 holiday days that are off the following week. So
Yeah.
if we don't capture it there, I would say the latest is probably the 1st of December.
So Chuck, that's about 1.75 roughly of the 2 million. What do we do with the 250? That has to be used for a particular project, right? Or some sort of...
Or any other project that was identified. The other side of that was your landscaping improvements.
So that could go...
Which we had $1 million budgeted for that, and then we had roughly $1 million in contingency because we weren't really sure where the pricing was going to go at the time. So
We don't have to use it because buy down the
just goes
bond.
back and
Right.
it is a prepayment to the principal, which reduces everybody's assessments.
Walking path is included in this? Yes, okay.
Repairs.
Repairs, right.
That's what
Sounds like do a complete...
Correct, that's what you all had talked about, you just wanted to do the repairs. So
Right.
those are all identified in the detailed specs, which I believe I sent out.
Okay. Well, I would like to make a motion to accept the bid from Southern
Striping.
Striking, thank you.
A second.
All in favor? Or any comments? All in
I guess
favor?
one comment, what was the number, if anybody remembers, if you had to do a full replacement of the walking path?
We didn't secure it.
There was no, general
No.
thought of that cost?
The 2 million was a guess on covering all of it, but that was really inflated, to be honest with you, because we weren't really sure where the cost of fuel was going to go, which was going to drive everything.
Right.
There's petroleum and asphalt itself, petroleum and everything that runs away.
Right.
Perhaps that cost of concrete as well, so.
Who's gonna work with the contractor?
Johnson Engineering.
To get the word out to our residents that this road's gonna be closed that day, you know what I'm saying?
Well, that will be the first thing these guys will have to generate is a schedule. And first part of the work is all concrete work. So they'll be doing curb and gutter repairs, walking path repairs, get all of that done, and then they'll come in and do the actual mill, relaying asphalt, striping.
And once we get that schedule, I will make a point of getting a schedule put here. I'll give it to the HOA so that they can have that. And I will have an email blast put out that, the week of whatever, we'll be doing Pembroke, the week of whatever, so each week, and I can do an email blast with
And
that.
that's probably the specifications for the contractor, who's going to cut the some traffic. So
Right.
all of that going with the schedule. And since we're into the neighborhoods, we won't be doing what we did with the boulevard, which was nighttime work.
Right.
You can't do that in the neighborhoods, so.
Why not? They're used to doing this. Only kidding. Okay.
We'll give them your personal cell phone number.
Yes, thank you. So all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, so it's Southern Striking. Thank you. Okay. Those are the trees. Okay, so okay, yes. Yes.
What was the impetus of deciding to pave the roads?
We had an engineer come in and determine that the roads, they're 25 years old, and there's a lot of damage on some of the concrete and the roads themselves, and they did all need to be redone.
Yeah, there's a total life expectancy is 20 years on asphalt. You've got 25 on it.
time this project gets done, we'll be pushing 30.
Oh, stop
Yeah.
it. We have talked about it for a few years.
No, I know, it's
Yes.
just, yeah.
And actually, before we had the bond, it was going to be a 5 or 6 year project.
Yeah, and that was part of it too, is we knew we were gonna bond out all these other issues, so let's wrap it all into one bond, because
Right.
it saves us money in the long run.
Really, for you, about the logistics of all this? Well, you can't do it on Monday, obviously, because that's garbage day. And
Right, well,
It's gonna have to, I mean,
Yeah, well,
you cannot repair the roads because they're gonna be used. I mean, it happens throughout our communities
and
everywhere.
that's, we are going to, once we get the schedule, I will give it to the HOA, I will have it posted here, I'll have an email blast put out, I'll put it in the newsletter as often as I can, and
It's gonna be an inconvenience.
it is, but there's no other way around it. I mean, I can't tell everybody to go on vacation for 2 weeks so we can get it done. Vacate the community.
Yeah, I mean, you're not the only community that has been having your roads redone.
Right.
These guys are used to those environments, and they know how to work around.
Right, and they will. Okay. Yes.
Just curious, the $2 million bond, is that already assessed to our?
Yes.
That was part of the bond that we got last year. Okay. The letter with, number 7, the letter from Weymouth, I think we've discussed that already, so we're okay with that, we can move on.
Are we doing 6?
6. Oh, Carter fence, I'm sorry, I blew by a fence.
It just said defer to
That was the consensus of the board, so
Yeah,
we can do it, we can put it back on your agenda properly.
okay. So, to redo the fencing, and that's just around the back part of the
If you look on
the schematic.
in the
here.
financials, yeah, it's pretty much the whole property.
Okay,
If you look, Wyndham doesn't have a fence.
right.
Well, wait a minute.
Wyndham has.
No, it was